Greetings, this is the Evening Run. A pleasure always. Your host, Denobi2.
I'm here. Apologies. You know, I like to be on time when it comes to these streams. Hope everybody's doing really well. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. We're gonna have several guests join us, maybe even some few surprises. Who knows? Sir Hadalorian will be joining us tonight. Mr. Mom's Collectibles will be joining us. Maybe even Nate from Geeking Out. I don't know. It's gonna be a fun night. I have a lot of topics on my mind that I would love to discuss with you wonderful folks tonight. Before I do, let's welcome in Sir Mr. Mom. Hello, good sir.
What's going on? How are you?
Hello.
I appreciate the invite, and I'm surprised I actually made it on. Right, East Coast, West Coast. So I'm looking forward to it.
I wasn't sure if you were gonna crash or not. Last time I got to hang out with you, I didn't get to spend as much time with you. So
No, my daughter unfortunately crashed the stream, so I do appreciate the welcome, the invite to kind of make up for it. Yeah, you were on mine for a little bit of time. We get a chance to really converse because unfortunately, dad duties kicked in. So it's life. That's how it is sometimes, right? So I appreciate being here, though. I appreciate it.
Of course. And then our third guest of the night is going to be good sir. So, hey, Lauren, how are you tonight?
Doing great. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Oh, hey.
Good. Did you get your mic situation set up? It sounds like
Yeah.
it's coming good. All right.
Yeah, all good.
All right. Sounds really good. Let's before we get into all sorts of good fun tonight, let's address the chat. Let's see who's out there tonight. 7:30, huh? Hold on. Who do we have here? Checking in, Collector. Collector. Are you checking in tonight for educational purposes or tea spilling? I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. Checking in from New York, 10:30. What's up, everyone? Hope everybody's doing great. Braden, look at him back on the circuit, the live stream circuit. And seeing you in a bit. As always, a pleasure for you to hang out. 12:30 midday, Junkertown EXO-6 bringing the heat. Well, so they say. Yes, it's go time, Batman, everybody. Hello, Louise. Is Lane in the chat too? I haven't seen him. He's usually
somewhere.
He's usually creeping around, isn't he? Here you go. Hello, good sir, Lane Kramer. So many tests are coming. I'm sure. There you go. Hello, everybody. Hello, Lane. Hello. Geodesic polyhedron. Oh, well, it's a pleasure to have you back on. Hopefully I'm not stealing the audience. I know my good associate Six Tail Mafia is having his stream. Not exactly sure his topics, if he's covering serious topics or if he's just having fun. Not exactly sure. But as always, thank you so much, wonderful folks, for joining in tonight. Bringing the hate. Oh, come on. They see you hate a Lori and they think something. They need to settle down. wait, so 6 times. Is this what it is? I see. Look at this, Mr. Mom. Remember, I've told you. I go. I know you're not a big Star Trek fan, but I'm like, you dangle the EXO-6 carrot in front of.
And I was going to say a lot of EXO-6 tonight. I'm not
and everybody gets all sensitive and shit. And
I'm going to go to sleep thinking about EXO-6 now after this stream.
Hate that like button. This is a story for another day, Nami. Let me scroll down here. All right, there's a lot. I'm not gonna bullshit here too much, but let's got several topics here. Let's talk about the big one. Let's talk about the KX Enforcer droid. Let's bring it into the stream here. And I'm excited for this one here. KX Enforcer droid retails on Sideshow here in the U.S. for $285. This is a waitlist full figure. What that means for folks who aren't privy to Hot Toys or just the whole sense of pre-order and waitlist fools means is that if you wanted to buy this right now from Sideshow, tough luck. Trains left the depot. You can't even enter the waitlist, so you'll have to resort to secondary means, Hong Kong sources, or maybe even U.S. comic book collectors. Point of the matter is that this is a waitlist full, and because of that, something magical tends to happen. This generation of figures that are entering this waitlist full most likely this figure, when it ships to, I want to say Hadalorian has this on pre-order, when it ships to me and Hadalorian, this is probably going to have equity. And that's the magic. That's the secret sauce. That's what got a lot of these first generation Hot Toy collectors, including you, Mr. Mom, right? Right? You're tasting some of the benefits of the spoils now, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're you shared with me earlier that you banked in
my secret prize today, right? I dropped that little nugget that I found in the diamond in the rough that, like you said, that added equity to my purchase quickly.
So I won't mention the retailer, but I will mention that Mr. Mom did score an Attack of the Clones R2, and it's
Nice.
It's different, right? It's different to acquire something that's gone in a wait list full, and it just that anticipation. That
the price was so stupid. It was a stupid price not to get it for. It was $275, so it was like out the door, ready to go. So I saw that, I jumped on it. I never had an R2 before. I admit I'm one of those that I did not pre-order the Attack of the Clones because I thought we'd get something. We still may get something for Return of the Jedi, but I was hoping to get like a pre-order in to kind of put that my mind at ease. I have to admit, Denobi, when I saw your review and a couple other reviews out there, I was like, oh man. I was
really hoping that you'd kit bash it and put those lights in the thrusters.
I can. I'm actually 100% confident and capable of doing it. The problem is that it's an expensive chase. It's going to eventually probably hit Grail. And I look at things very, very differently. So it's easy for me. So for example, I'll give you a perfect example. The Dark Trooper, right? The Dark Troopers, I bought them below retail. I got them, each of them for about $200 below retail, free shipping, no tax. And because I'm buying, when I purchase a Dark Trooper below that cost, I feel more at ease, more relaxed to start soldering cables to the head, start welding LED lights. I can do modifications and not worry about, am I damaging a Grail here? Is this equity that I might be able to pull out for an emergency? Not saying that I would resort to quickly flipping the Dark Trooper for 30. That's not me, but that always lingers in the back of my head. For example, I would never damage my Tamashii Nation C-3PO. He's one of a kind, right? So that being said, like, damn it, I have all the equipment. I have the LED lights that can make these lights blue, and I had already planned on drilling into R2. I'm like, oh, I'm not touching this thing. This thing is $450 already on eBay. So,
I can see that. I'm just feel that it's an easy bet that they're going to make more. Like, I mean, there's gonna be a Return of the Jedi R2. There's going to be eventually an Empire Strikes Back R2.
A New Hope.
Yeah, New Hope as well. There's going to be plenty of R2s in the future. When though, that's how long you're going to wait. That's the ticket right there.
But it's never going to be the exact same R2. We've had 3 different R2s in there, and they're both in that chase price status, meaning average $350, $400 on eBay. You're not, R2s or droids in particular have never dipped below retail, even during the slump of this excess of pre-order figures, where you can buy Ahsoka Tano, the Toon version of her, for $200. Hell, a Mercari, I saw one brand new for $175 2 weeks ago. So you'll never, that's the Toon, brand new. Just folks are just, they're just over it. But the R2, well, this is different. Now it's R2's part of that generation. R2's part of that. He's part of that generation, that WLF, that waitlist full. And something magical happens. And this generation of pre-orders, which I want to say started around Peacemaker. I think Peacemaker, this was probably around about a year ago, around May, about a year ago. And it's something just odd happened where we encounter these smaller batches that are going into waitlist full. And it's just, it works on supply and demand. If you're producing smaller batches and you get these batches out, you run into equity. You run into figures that are just harder to get. I I know you have your R2, Adalorian. I know you have that.
Yeah.
And you have the KX Enforcer droid, right? You pretty much.
Yeah. Can you refresh my memory? Like, I know there is some minor differences between this one and the K2SO from Rogue One.
It's the paint. All it is the paint application.
But I mean, but they still look pretty similar though, right? Paint wise?
No, this has more of aggressive. This has more of a weathered, beaded. Even the black tones.
It's yeah. Okay, I'm looking
Even
at
the
it now. It's
tones.
darker
Even
and
this
there's
is
more.
they did a
It's more
complete
beaten
paint.
and weathered. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's beat up, it's weathered, and because I don't have one yet to compare, I want to even say that the black cues are a lot lighter versus
Okay.
the K2SO from Rogue One. It's more of a Empire gloss black paint. This one
Yeah.
seems, it just seems more weather. And I love these outdoor shots for what
Oh, they're
was provided
fantastic.
by
I
these
love it.
bloggers. So
So it's interesting. So like when this first came up, I'll make a confession. I didn't do my day one pre-order on this. I actually hum and hawed on it, and you actually put FOMO on my to actually. Okay, I'll get one because like I kind of contemplate. Do I really need another K2SO?
oh, you don't
It's
like
like
doing duplicates on certain things like this, do you? That's not your jam.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, it is different. This is like almost like a. And then when I remember like now looking at it, and it kind of just flashed in my head. Okay, this is almost like they're looking at a regular clean stormtrooper versus the remnant stormtrooper. Like when you compare the Rogue One K2SO versus this version.
You didn't get this right, Mr. Ron. This isn't up your alley. You don't.
No, it's actually kind of funny because I wasn't a huge droid person in general, and then I kind of started getting that itch, unfortunately, with the R5, and that went waitlisted. So I'm on the wait list for the R5, and then I got the R2 today. So now I'm starting to get that bug for droids. I don't really have any R2 is the first droid in my collection, so now I'm starting to get that droid bug. If you
Yeah,
will.
I'm on the wait list for the R5, and that's me. That's my bad.
It's the problem with that one was that I had the R5, I got a waitlist conversion, and I was making my daughter dinner. I was like, all right, I'll get to it in like an hour. Sold out. I didn't convert, so it already went. So I have another, wait list that I'm waiting on that hopefully I get, because I really do want the R5 now with the pit droids. But what's really interesting, and someone made a comment about this, I think Joshua right there, Alvarez said, is like, that's the one thing I saw about this. A lot of people are getting two of them. Like, some people are getting one, but it's almost like two has become the standard, which is really interesting. A lot of people I talk to are like, oh, you getting this? Yeah, I got two of them. Wish I could have more, but I'm at least getting two. So that's what's interesting about it, is that people are picking up doubles.
That I messed up on the Geonosian Battle Droid. I only have one of those on pre-order through Sideshow, and I follow several Star Wars hot toy collectors on Instagram, and I can't think of this one dude who has 3 of the Battle Droids, and there's something where he has them in a scene. If he's watching, where he has all these 3 Battle Droids all lined up, and it looks like something out of the film. Like, God damn it! And I knew better, and I was like, I didn't think so. The stupid thing went well. Actually, I had the opportunity to pre-order 3, and I thought I can save money. The problem was that I was still thinking in that save mode, where I'm like, is it gonna sit around? Well, no. I mean, I myself who've preached me as a collector, that I've always advocated being punished by history. I will be punished by history on certain choices. I always try to tell myself, I try to create an educated guess that can benefit me, because I've saved a lot of money since the last 8 months by me being patient, by me going through my Google spreadsheet, by planning accordingly. I've saved a mint. Well, those days are done. This era of waitlist full will put an end to my penny pension. It's either I get it or I don't.
Yeah, I actually the Battle Droids is definitely one of the ones where like it kind of snuck up on me. I ordered them the Battle Droid day one, but the problem is like I followed my rule of one. Always just order day one. Anything Star Wars, just order it, PO it, so that way I don't have to worry about it, don't have to think. And then time went on, and I'm thinking like, well, yeah, it would be kind of cool to get 1 or 2 more. And then And then when and everyone started talking, hyping about it, I'm thinking, no, like I really want a couple around Count Dooku. And it's like,
Yeah.
the next thing I know, it's like,
Yeah.
gone. I was like,
Yep.
I was just like kicking myself because I hummed and hawed on it for like 3-4 weeks. And then it was just like, I sat on it.
So for Super Battle Droids, I pre-ordered 2. This is what Smoking if you got them. I pre-ordered right off the bat. In fact, the Super Battle Droids for me were a day one pre-order. I was excited. That whole Attack of the Clones drop, it was awesome. So I did 2 Super Battle Droids, and I want to say those are waitlist full as well too, right? It's waitlist full for this. So even if you wanted to add more of the Super Battle Droids, the ones where Dooku is in the arena, that's exactly that look is what I want. I want Count Dooku with 2 Super Battle Droids right behind him. That's what I want to set up. So I already had that planned out. And the Super Battle Droids are pretty expensive. Did I want more than that? No. I think 2 for the Super Battle Droids is good. For the regular B2 Battle Droid, for the Geonosian Battle Droids, I would have probably wanted 3.
They're still available on Sideshow.
Which ones?
The Super Battle Droid.
Waitlist, is it waitlist full or just waitlist?
No, it says pre-order, like it's open.
Oh, so they just opened it. That's for the Super Battle Droid, right?
Super Battle Droid,
$238. And then the Geonosian Battle Droids, it's just waitlist full. You can't even get more.
$238 for the Super Battle Droid.
Yeah.
Because I have to pre-order this, so I've been keeping my eyes on it.
Yeah. Are you? Let me ask Hadalorian. You're not building a droid army or anything like that, or a clone army. You're still being just very simple, conservative. Let me just get one of each, and then just go from there.
Yeah, the only one I was gonna jump on was the battle droids, but then now I'm thinking okay, well maybe I might get another enforcer, a super battle droid, or no, not an enforcer, but I mean another super battle droid now. So,
it's cool.
But I mean, I have one for sure, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It's how much more I want to invest in Star Wars at this point.
Yeah. I know you're not too keen on the state of Star Wars, and that's something that is absolutely affecting the community. I'm not on Facebook, but I know you've seen what's the nicest way to put this? The hate towards Star Wars and pre-ordering, but again, it's challenging though, because Star Wars is so segregated. There's so many different IP spin-offs. So when someone says that they hate Star Wars, they may not necessarily say they hate the Attack of the Clones Star Wars. They may probably refer to the Disney Plus nightmare that that's happening. I know you're going kind of. Have you throttled? You've kind of throttled now, right? Hadalorian. This question's for Hadalorian.
Yeah, anything that's coming out new for Mandalorian, it's it's definitely questionable now for sure.
Okay.
Anything new that comes out for the original original trilogy and the prequels, absolutely, I'll definitely get at least one.
Okay.
Actually, anything for Rogue One, that was a solid movie as well. But anything there might be some figures from season 1 or 2 from Mandalorian. I'll still pick up if they go back that far again. But I know from anything from season 3, there's nothing there that I would care to purchase that they would make.
Your question is for Mr. Mom. You're tap dancing around the current Star Wars IP right now. Because I know you also dabble in other IPs outside of Star Wars too.
Oh yeah, I'm into DC, Marvel, and I dabble in Star Trek too.
Okay.
And all sorts of 80s pop culture. I'm all over the place.
Okay.
And yeah, anything that's just classic sci-fi or fantasy, I'm all about it. Anything that gives me that nostalgia feeling, that you used to watch as a kid, over and over again, and you wore out that VHS tape. That's I have to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Mom, you're tap dancing around Star Wars right now, because I know you too also collect outside of Star Wars.
I do Marvel, DC, 80, everything Hadalorian just said. So I'm throttling back on Marvel.
Okay,
I
so it's
actually
Marvel's your throttle.
so actually, yeah, it's like if you look behind me, my shelves are actually in the process of being reconsolidated. So like the upper shelf that's
Oh,
full behind me is all of my Marvel stuff. I consolidated Marvel all up to one shelf, and below that, where you see the gap, where you see that little purple Joker right there, that's
yes.
actually the wider space. That's actually where the Star Wars is going, because Star Wars is actually becoming the bigger chunk of the pie. So I'm actually throttling back Marvel and I'm dialing up Star Wars. So, but same thing with Hadalorian. I mean, Return of the Jedi, it's all grandfathered in day one pre-order. I already got two Darth Vader. I ordered two Darth Vaders, C3PO. So that's where I'm at with that. Marvel, just Phase 4 really left a bad taste in my mouth. Where I ended it with No Way Home. Anything like anything else, Multiverse of Madness, Love and Thunder, all that garbage. I'm not
That
wasting
did
my
that,
money on that.
Yeah,
that got
yeah.
I
watered
mean, Star
down.
Wars is just such a, even like Mando, like I really do, like they have to blow me away with something from Mando season 3 for me to get something from Mando, because I have a lot of Mando stuff, because Mando is what brought me into Star Wars.
Mhm.
When I started collecting, Empire Strikes Back kind of phased out in terms of like the 40th anniversary, so I really couldn't get those figures, and it was Mando who really dove me into Star Wars. Not that I never not liked Star Wars, but I was like very much like, let me get Marvel, let me get DC. Star Wars Hot Toys are just so unique. Their design, the characters, I just love them so much. Marvel is just so played out. Like I can't, like I'm just, yeah, I'm played out
Yeah.
on Marvel, honestly.
So,
I,
so
I have to.
There's a few
can
pieces
I
though.
can I
Marvel.
can I add the little can I add
There's
the
a few
little
pieces of
disclaimer
Marvel
there?
though. I will say I'll get like a couple pieces, like the Mark 6 gantry, getting it.
Okay,
If they ever do the Vulture, I'll get it. If they ever do
okay,
like the original Mark 7, like the first 7 Iron Man suits, anything for that we'll still get. But
okay.
outside of that,
So
it's got to be
conservative Marvel
very
then.
picky and choosy.
To
with Marvel.
the legacy characters. How
Correct.
about the Marvel Sony characters? That's a different breed in
I
itself.
have them. Yeah, I have them all on pre-order.
Okay, so you're in for the Marvel
Like the No
Sony.
Way Home, like the 3 Spider-Man, like 2 Spider-Man, the villains I have, because I think those villains are going to be chase figures because they're
Oh
one-offs.
yeah.
Like you'll
Oh
never
yeah.
see a Doc Ock again, despite how
Mhm.
ugly the head sculpt looks. You'll never see it again. That Jamie Foxx is, that sculpt is breathtaking. That head sculpt, to be honest with you, it's unbelievable. So those are chase figures, and that Willem Dafoe. I mean, it's like it's Willem Dafoe. I mean, I gotta have Willem Dafoe. So I think those are going to be chase figures because they're one-offs. So you have to have those.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clone Trooper just nailed it right there. Disney saved us a lot of money, especially with Phase 4.
I
Yeah.
I want to
Phase
believe
5
that.
coming over.
Yeah,
That
I want to
Yeah.
believe this one right here, but I'm still spending a minute. I still got Iron Man. I mean, I'm not gonna. We have the Mark III diecast
Oh my god,
2.0
that's my
version.
favorite armor of all
There's
time. I cannot wait.
I still need to get the Silver Centurion. There's a Mark 7 suit
Still
up.
need the Mark 1.
Yeah, the Marvel Sony. I'm getting anything with Marvel Sony. That so I want to believe. Yeah, Disney's saving me. Sure. Okay, I still seem to be overspending. Uh, quick question,
Yeah.
Elaine Kramer. No, go ahead. What? Hey,
I'm just wondering, like, how come Hot Toys hasn't brought out that Ironheart suit yet, huh?
there's a lot. I mean, there's
For,
I
I know all those Iron Man collectors. Come on.
I look. I had nothing. I enjoyed the film. I enjoyed Black Panther 2. Would I want Riri Williams in the suit in my collection? No. No, not looking like a Power Ranger and no, that was too much. In fact, a lot of the character design, costume designs for the film, I didn't find very appealing. The only character I would have spent good money on is Namor. I would have gotten him 100% with his Aztec look and the whole Indian. Yeah, I would have gotten all of that. With his throne, underwater throne, I think that would have been fantastic. So I would have gotten that. Like the Black Panther of Shuri. No, I don't care. I no hate. No, I don't. I just it doesn't do it for me. You know, they're still getting my money. Marvel is still getting. I pre-ordered. I'll confess, I pre-ordered She-Hulk. Right. I recognized art there. Something
That's an awesome figure. I pre-ordered
that
it.
I pre-ordered it because I see art there, and I see like from top to bottom, She-Hulk is brand new R&D technology that I am really curious to see how they're going to pull off. Plus, she's
You're gonna have
tall
her.
as shit.
You're gonna have her twerking in Joker's palace.
I'm gonna have her. I'm gonna have her as the bouncer.
That's where she's gonna end up, twerking in Joker's palace.
Jesus, But they welded her little jumpsuit on. I'm like, well, maybe I can put her like in an evening gown and have her, serving drinks at Joker's palace. But no, all jokes aside, I think it's gonna be a fantastic. But I get it; it's not for everybody, to each his own. But so, Mr. Mom, I didn't know that you got She-Hulk.
Oh
2
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
I'm not passing that up.
No, that's a good, nice figure. The Daredevil one I don't, because I'm reluctantly gonna probably get Daredevil. I mean, the yellow is. I had the Netflix, the original one. I sold it. I never should have. I wish I kept that one. But,
See, that was the one that killed me, because like I was debating that one. But like, I'm a huge Daredevil fan. Like, I love the Netflix series, and I have all the figures, and I even have the third-party ones as well. And they actually did a pretty good job on the third-party versions of the Daredevil. And yeah, when it just that series left, that She-Hulk series left such a bad taste in my mouth. I just I'll look at that Daredevil and I'll just think of like She-Hulk, and I'll just like, yeah, no, they'll just ruin it for me. I don't want it. I don't want that anywhere near my collection.
She-Hulk, and the curious thing is that there's this generation of pre-orders, again, starting from Peacemaker moving forward, that, you know what, the show wasn't that great. The character performance wasn't that great. That being said, though, she's probably going to end up being an expensive grail, probably a lot sooner than later. Probably when I'm talking about 2 to 3 years. This is it. This is, and whether you tend to agree with it or not, this is just the era. And eventually, it's gonna auto correct itself. The scale, the seesaw scale, is obviously gonna fix itself and correct itself. Let's answer this question really quick, and I'm going to segue to the next topic here. I'm not touching any of the Inquisitors. I think Hadalorian is chasing the Inquisitors. I don't give a shit about the fucking Inquisitors. I don't have the Grand Inquisitor on pre-order or Reva, and I was warned multiple times, hey, Denobi, low batch. I go, I don't care. I'd rather buy more droids. And you know what? That's exactly what I did. I ended up pre-ordering more droids. I'm having a ton of fun with Star Wars droids. To me, that's my jam. Hey, DeLorean, if the 2 Inquisitors come in, are you down for those?
Yeah, I got the Inquisitors, but I'm not proud of myself.
That's a statement so far of the stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
We said it with the straightest face too. I love it.
Even though the other sister, the Twi'lek evil, she does look badass. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't touch it.
To be fair, all the other Inquisitors are better than Reva.
Dude.
It was actually, Reva was the hardest one for me to press. The PO on. That was really hard for me to do.
Well, you know what?
The other ones were fine. But it was still hard for me to do. Okay. But Reva was bad.
So for the folks watching, I don't have anything from the Kenobi Disney Plus show on pre-order. I don't have anything. I just don't care.
You're a better man for that.
I don't have nothing. That crappy looking Kenobi with the floating rocks. No, God, no. Now, I do have General Kenobi, which I think looks badass and a better sculpt, because I'm going to have him on my ATRT. So to me, that's fun. That looks like a fun toy. I can go out in the desert, take some really cool desert shots. That looks kick-ass. But as far as anything from Kenobi, I looked at I don't have anything. I'm pretty confident I'm not going to get any regrets. Mr. Mom over
Vader only.
Vader. Okay.
That's it.
I don't even think I'm even sold on Vader. At this point.
I'm telling you right now, I was like, I had him. It is cool with the sculpt. The problem is I'm still on the fence about him, because I got him with the intention of getting Kenobi, and I'm not getting anything else. I can't tie my money up into that. I just can't do it. Like, the Inquisitors are so cool when they showed them on Showcase, with May the 4th. It's just, that's a nugget. I'm thinking like 300, the average price per figure. That's too much money. I can't invest in something. My heart's not in it for them to be on display surrounding like Darth Vader. Like, they didn't do enough in the show for me to like invest that kind of, you're talking Guardians of the Galaxy kind of money, for that team. I'd rather spend the money on the Guardians team. That was like more impactful for me than the Inquisitors. But I can't deny they look fantastic. I'd love to see them all with the USB lightsabers turned on, like ready to go. which we still have not seen the USB lightsabers in action on display.
Not yet. Hey, Lord, I'm going to ask you, Sean,
Sure.
that droid in the back, the Imperial probe droid.
Probe droid.
So the Viper droids are smaller than the Imperial probe droids from The Empire Strikes Back. Is this true or not?
The Viper droids.
Viper droids. Can someone confirm? I want to say a Viper droid is smaller than the Imperial probe droid we saw. I don't know if this is true or not because I want to.
I don't know. It was.
I didn't see the episode, so was it in scale reference? Was it smaller to the K2? Because you have the K2SO.
Yeah, I have the K2SO, but I don't have a 1/6 scale probe droid.
Okay, I do, and this is something. So that I'm not too sure. You're not into the lore, Mr. Mom, right? You're not.
No, by the way, Denobi, you were muted the whole time that video was going on.
Oh, was I really?
Yeah, you were talking, but
okay.
You couldn't hear it. Yeah,
so
you were muted automatically.
I'll just repeat what I said. What I said is that I'm under the impression that the Viper droid is a smaller model than the Imperial probe droid, but I'm unable to confirm that. I'm only going based off of the photos and then the action figures. There's a few action figures that have been released on it, and I'm like, well, this is smaller than the Imperial probe droid, so I'm not too sure. Let me see if someone can kind of chime in on no sound. Thank you. Yeah, I just repeated myself. Sorry, Eddie. I didn't know that once I played that video it would mute me. It's just pretty much me repeating myself. I just wasn't sure, and if it's something that if the KX and Force are sold as well, are we going to get the Viper droid, or I'm making a big deal out of it, and it's the exact same Imperial probe droid that we have. So they seem to be the same droid with interchangeable names. That right there in the background doesn't look like an Imperial probe droid in that photo. That does not. I'll even try to zoom in. This looks completely different than the Empire Strikes Back. I don't know if it's a tease. We're going into heavy speculation right now, but here I'll play it one more time, and I know I'll be muted, but just showing.
Yeah, it's slightly different.
It is slightly different. I'm not making a big deal. To me, it is slightly different. Even the lenses and everything on it, and that in the background on that episode, the Night of a Thousand Tears, it was Viper droids that accompanied the KX and Force droids. So I don't know, something I'll put out there. I'll buy them. I was hoping that, well, if they're only going to make the Viper droid, is it going to be the Imperial probe droid? Because a probe droid and a Viper droid is a droid designed for attack. It's more for killing. Probe droid is exactly what the name implies. It's dispersed throughout the galaxy to collect intelligence and designed for self-destruction, versus a Viper droid is designed to attack, defend itself, and so forth.
I would take either one of them right now if Hot Toys made one. I'll take either one of them.
I'll take. I'm not.
I would probably get two of these. Honestly, I'd probably get like two of these and put them in display. I mean, I would probably get two.
I am not. I'll take it. According to Star Wars small. See, I'm not making this up. I know there's a fan out. I know there's.
Yeah.
According to the Star Wars Illustrated Encyclopedia, the Viper droid is smaller than the Imperial probe droid. I'm not making this up, and so it's something that, and the fact that it was teased in this photo, I'm like, oh, maybe they're going to make the Viper droid. Viper droids are almost, say, 12 inches. I mean, look, the one I have is tall as shit. This one's about 15 inches from the arms dangling all the way to the top. Here, I'll play it. I'll unmute everybody. Hold on. All right, you can hear me, but you can also unmute yourself too. It says I can't unmute you. If you want to talk about it, you can.
Oh, there it
It
is.
says you have the option to.
I'm having, when I listen to that sound, I'm having flashbacks to like Nintendo 64, like Shadows of the Empire, that
Yeah.
video game. I'm like, that was like oh man, I'm having total
Yeah.
flashbacks right now.
That's where you need to get Chewbacca side by side with them for skill.
Yeah. So it was just something. I don't want to spend too much time on that. I just thought it was something kind of cool that I observed. I'm like, oh, Viper droids are different species, right? Or a different model of. So I just thought it was something fun. And I'm like, and I'm with you, Mr. Mom. I'm buying them both, regardless if they give us an Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I'll get, and I'll at least
and a Viper. I'm all for that. So it doesn't bother me. So because we're in this generation, right? We're in this generation of waitlist full. You would think everybody's making bank. You would think, wow, everything is selling out, and everybody's just making that moolah, right? Well, to accomplish this waitlist full, clearly they're making smaller batches. That's why there's a run on the market. That's supply and demand economics, and it's one of the things that I saw where we segue into the Sideshow Con. We're going to talk about this. Mr. Mom, are you aware of this? I know Hada Lorian's aware of this.
What's that? The
Sideshow Con is Sideshow Collectibles' answer to representation to the biggest pop cultural event in the
San
world.
Diego Comic-Con.
San Diego.
They're not going. It's gonna be they're not going this. Yeah,
they're not going. And I know it started off as a rumor,
allegedly, or is it actually proven now? Or they come out and say that they're not going?
I verified it through a very trusted source, and you know who my source is that works there. So I had her go in, and I need to know because I like to talk about this. And I don't, if I talk about Sideshow Con or them not showing to San Diego Comic Con, I don't want my live stream to age like milk. So if I talk about something, I like to make sure. And I did verify it. They will not be attending. Let me adjust the cameras here. So, and I'm a little bit saddened by this because let me see if I can pull this up here. This is the map for 2022. This is the exhibitor floor map. This is the heart. This is the energy. This is the mojo. For last year, for 2022. This map is 2022's map. In fact, I think you can even maybe see it on the stream. Maybe you can't. But it's a 2020. But you can see pointing on there that this is Sideshow's booth. Now, how big is this booth? I actually have exact dimensions. Sideshow for the last decade, they've always been in this specific spot. Booth 1929. It's a 40 by 40 booth. 40 by 40, it's a 1,600 square feet. Most apartments aren't even that big, right?
No, it's bigger than Marvel.
Yeah.
Or
actually, Marvel has a 40 by 40 too. It's a 40
yeah.
by 40. Just to kind of put this in perspective. And it saddens me that they won't be attending this show because I was able to verify, and let me see if how can I do this? All right. And all right, I need to know how I can do this slideshow here. So zooming in on their booth, it's a 40 by 40 booth, 1,600 square feet. Again, most apartments aren't even this big. This is a big ass fucking booth. When I go to San Diego Comic Con, I typically will work and spend all day there Thursday. I'll do live streams. I'll do B-roll footage. It's a lot. There's just so much between statues and not just hot toys, but there's Sideshow collectible figures and so forth. Now I was able to get a hold of the current exhibitor list for 2023, and this is what it looks like now. And those booths were sold to different vendors. So it's not, so if you're under the impression that Sideshow decided to grandfather themselves in and then sublet it, that's actually not allowed on a union floor. That's absolutely not allowed at all. They told the managing company they will not be attending this year. And they said, okay, you've lost your grandfather status. This is one of the reasons I attend this show. This show is highly sought for representation. It's been divided to 4 different companies. I had the list and I didn't even recognize the companies. I'm like, who are these? Fuck, I don't even know who the fuck they are. Marvel is still there. You can see Marvel's is booth 20. And you're probably wondering, well, what's the big deal about this? Well, this is a big deal because Sideshow's involvement with the show helps promote them. It helps educate most collectors as to what's coming out. It really creates a ripple effect. In fact, one might even speculate is one of the reasons why we ended up with so much dead fucking stock from 2021, right? You got to keep the stuff in the know. You have to keep it moving. You have to, if folks don't know if something exists, they just tend to lose interest on it. And I'm a little bit sad by it though, because this is one of the things I look forward to. And I know that they're doing their little Sideshow Con, their little virtual thing. And I don't know if this is a serious situation. Am I making a big deal out of this, Hada Lauren? Is this something that, are they financially hurting? Is it the collector's fault? And when I mean the collector's fault, I'm not pointing fingers at the 1/6 community. I'm also pointing fingers at the statue community, at the vinyl pop community, because during these Sideshow deals the last couple of months, holy shit, how much of the vinyl Funko landfill crap has been on sale, right? More. Mm-hmm. For every Hot Toy figures you see on the daily deal, you'll see like 5 or 6 vinyl something.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
It actually doesn't come as a surprise to me that they cancel it. They've been getting more and more aggressive on their Sideshow Con over the last few years and growing it more and more. It seems like a natural progression that they would do this, because their marketing department would say, like, or their bean counters would say, hey, you know what? They're looking at the statistics on their live stream, and they're getting more impressions live stream and for online and deals and sales versus hauling all that stock down to San Diego, just paying all that money for the space
and
then
trying
to move all that stuff. Yeah, it's incredibly expensive. And then,
but it's part of the business.
But I mean, what are they getting out of it versus what are they getting?
What are they getting
online?
Out of it? So they had this grandiose N1 Starfighter, whether or not it gets pre-ordered or not. It's a strength of flex. It's showing vitality. It's showing that they're healthy, that they're vigor, that they're strong. How?
That's Hot Toys doing that in Asia. That's not Sideshow.
Remember, I did the 4K blast on the N1 Fighter at San Diego.
I know, but that's Hot Toys bringing it to
exactly. It's a symbiotic.
Now they're just going to be doing it in all the shows in Asia, and Sideshow is going to be running their cons, their Toy Fair Con, their Asia Con, everything. They're just going to be running more cons. So that coincide with that. I could see them doing it.
So Hot Toys was a perfect example, but and I'm not really aggressively big into the statue community, but part of that floor was statue representation. We're not talking about $200 statue. We're talking big deal tickets where high-end collectors, they travel to this show and they make their purchases on a $3,000 or $4,000 piece. This is a big deal for them. You want them, you're asking them to take a leap of faith on their Sideshow Cons virtual out of their warehouse? Is that what you're implying? You think it's better for them to do that way?
I don't know, but this is going to be interesting, because I wonder if this has any effect on Hot Toys or Sideshow's exclusivity on Hot Toys. distribution in North America if they don't do a showcase at San Diego Comic-Con.
Any thoughts on this, Mr. Mom, or it's just something that, you know what, we'll play it out and wait and see, or it's a big deal?
So to be honest with you, I'm not surprised that it happened. I think a lot of companies are doing this. I work for a construction company based out in New Jersey, and we attend multiple conventions every year. And every year it's the same thing. I'm one of my things, I'm booking them and setting them all up. And every year we look at the books and how much money we spent on this last year. What did we get out of it? What was the rate of return? You know what? Cancel it. We're not doing it. Oh, really? And we narrowed down like 3 or 4 shows. And I can tell you, there's one in Vegas. We spend about $60,000 to $70,000 a year. And
which show is it?
It's in Vegas, the Vegas Deck Expo in Las Vegas.
It's probably managed by Freeman too, isn't it?
Freeman,
or is it? Is it Freeman?
Yeah. So that's funny. And the show costs about $60,000 on it. I mean, and the amount of shipping everything out, just to show face. Sometimes you have to do it just to show face, to be represented.
Yes. People forget.
The fact is that the reality is that I agree with Halorian that I think that in a digital age that it's probably more for them to get better traffic online, doing their, you're paying next to nothing to do it, probably minimal production to put it together, to get the views, to get it on stream. And then those streams can always be rewatched. You could do live deals and buy stuff. I just think that it's something that's possible that, like, I'm not surprised they didn't go there. What stinks is that for people who bought tickets going,
thinking that they're going to get
with
the sideshow,
that they're going to go see this stuff there. That's what kind of stinks about it. I feel bad for those people.
Yeah.
Just like how if I'm going to go to New York Comic Con or I'm going to go to Boston Comic or whatever up there, I was going up there with the expectation of hope to see X and you get Y or you get nothing. So
yeah,
I feel bad for those people that bought tickets, expensive tickets to go, and they're not showing up there. And that's, this is like the granddaddy of events for them. So I do feel bad for the fans that are going, that took time out to go and expect to see Sideshow.
It is something that I look forward to, and I'm very disappointed. But the beautiful thing with the San Diego Comic-Con is that it is a 4-day event, and because it's such a packed schedule, I never get to do everything I want.
Yeah.
So with them not being there, it just means I then get to spend more time with the other vendors. For example, I have it on good authority that the next HasLabs are going to be announced at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Multiple HasLabs. So that's something cool where I would only spend half a day, say on Saturday, doing B-roll footage. I'm like, well, now I can probably spend a little bit more time if something HasLab associated gets to drop. Same thing for NECA. Mondo has a decent booth there, and they're knocking it out with He-Man and Batman animated series and so forth. It just means I get to spend a little bit more time versus I would always focus so much more on Sideshow's booth. I hope they're okay. I don't know. They're not a publicly traded company. It's not so. If they were, I would instantly buy shares just so that I can get divvies into how they're managing their business. Because I always get the impression that it's just a bunch of Muppets running Sideshow. I feel it's Gonzo in the warehouse. Because I get annoyed every time something that was released years ago mysteriously shows up. Look what we found, guys. You're like, what the fuck? What do you mean you found something?
Ghostbusters 4-pack.
What the fuck? Right? Is it just like I get annoyed with that crap? I really
look at this Rancor we found. How did you just find a Rancor? The size of that box, how much room it takes up in my garage.
We found this Vader Tarkin 2-pack. We just happened to find and keep it for May the 4th. Yeah.
So that to me just tells me that and the constant revolving door of employees. And it's just like, look, I gave you my money. I don't particularly agree with them not showing their flex, their mighty at the biggest convention. And this is something I've been told, hey, Lauren behind the doors. Well, Denobi, everybody's just going to watch them on their YouTube channel. Well, I'm not too confident about them because the San Diego Comic-Con has their own press coverage. They have their own channel, multiple streams. The same sense Star Wars Celebration had the Star Wars live feed that went on for like 8-9 hours, and you didn't know who was going to show up and what celebrities. Well, that's exactly what happens for San Diego Comic-Con, is that they have their own channel. So I don't watch their little live cast for their virtual coupons that expire within minutes if you don't fart fast enough, right? I don't play that game.
Now, to be fair, I never watched the San Diego Comic-Con videos or anything like that because I just couldn't stand all the people and everything that they bring in and all that stuff. I just wanted to see the statues. I want to see the figures. I want to see this. So like, I just watch streamers like you and some of the other guys that would attend. And I just, okay, I'll watch your live streams and then your little quick booth tours that you do with the show. And then, okay, I get to see all the quick sideshow figures that are released, all the new hot toys, all the new Blitzway, all the new Mondo stuff, all the new anything coming that the InArt showing and Queen Studio statues and all that stuff. So I just watch that. It's quick and easy, and I don't have to wait through hours of minutia of like, oh, this celebrity and this celebrity I've never heard of, and this person I never heard of, this voiceover actor I've never heard of, and
you don't benefit from the symbiotic relationship of YouTube influencers who attend the show. Who else out there put out a 4K blast of the N1 Starfighter? Vito's done pretty good. People, it still gets referenced, right? I got there, I brought my heavy gear, and I put work into that. And it not only benefits me and my channel, but it does benefit Hot Toys, and it does benefit Sideshow as a distributor and all the Star Wars. It's all part of that circle of life, and you guys know that. So the exhibitor list I showed you, the one I showed you that where Sideshow is not there, and the managing company, San Diego Comic-Con's managing company decided to outsource it to other vendors. That is a living document. And what that means is that it hasn't been locked. I did get that confirmed. That exhibitor floor typically will get locked 30 days prior from show date. So where I'm going with that is maybe there's a tiny little minutiae percentage that maybe Sideshow can still show up. I doubt it. But that is a living, breathing document. Exhibitor floor list manifest.
But they couldn't take their space back though. They
nope,
lost it.
They lost it. Lost it. They did. Because I did ask. I go, well, what if there's a private rich investor gives Sideshow money for a show? I'm like, well, they would be thrown in the back of Comic Book Alley or somewhere. They would make the accommodations would most likely be made, but their spot has been lost, and they lost their grandfather's spot on that floor, that specific floor spot. So, yeah, it is a it hurts everybody. It does.
Yeah, that's a prime location too.
It is prime real estate that they've always had for over 10 years. I was able to get that confirmed. Yeah, and it's a little bit sad. It really, really is. You will lose your brain cells. I don't listen to the Sideshow reps. I go there, I work, I do my footage, I do my coverage. I don't listen unless they're doing coupons or something. And that's the other thing too. That's one of the benefits too. There's a Hot Toys exclusive, statue exclusive. You attend the show. Again, it's part of the circle of it. Now I'm sure they'll probably do like a virtual something giveaway, but it's not, to me, it's not the same. And it shows hardship. I mean, would you agree with me on that, Hada Lauren? To me, it shows financial hardship.
Oh my God! If we have to go through Sideshow Con and they're doing what they did on this last con this last live stream that they did with the deals, and when they were just dealing out one at a time, and you had to jump on it, and you could have it all typed in, and you hit enter, and you had it in your cart.
That
and
garbage.
I had that Han Solo in disguise in my cart, and I was just like, okay, bye. Like I hit okay, it was in my cart. Nope. And then there was like 5 or 6 other people, like streamers and people in the chat saying like, yeah, they had it in their cart too. They couldn't get it either. And then, but somebody got it. It was posted on Facebook that the dude got it. So somebody did get it. It wasn't a bot or something.
I saw that, yeah.
And but man, that was just brutal. Like, I mean, nothing just can get your blood boiling than that. It's like I remember I was in my office going, yeah. I was just like, yeah, I got it. Like, I was on eBay, and I hardly ever do this either, because like every now and then I troll on eBay and I say, all right, what's this price? All right, it's 645, 700. All right, I'll say if I can, maybe if I can get it down, if it's 550, I might get it. I'm thinking like, all right, maybe I'll do 650. I'm thinking like, I'm just trying to convince myself to get it, because like it's on my Grail list of like, it's one of the last Star Wars figures. It's one of the very few Star Wars figures I don't have now, and I'm just like, and then I'm thinking like, oh my God, I got this at retail, like just a little above retail. I think, oh my God, and then I don't get it.
Mr. Mom,
I just want to go down there and beat them.
Mr. Mom, are you a big fan of third-party figures? We're segueing into the third.
Oh man, right. You're yes, I am.
We are.
I am because this is a bait question right here, and I was prepared for it. I even have your little thumbnail. I have my little guy. Where is he? He's right there. Your thumbnail. Yeah, he's right there. I have to exercise caution, though. I have restraint. I'm not one of those that see third party, and I'm very restrictive in what I buy. I know that third party comes with a lot of gamble in terms of quality. The only ones I'm buying right now, because I have other stuff I'm working on. That's what I kind of tell people. Like, everybody wants your money nowadays.
Oh yeah,
Hot Toys. Jazz Inc. wants your money. In art wants your money. So and the problem with those third party figures is you could pay that $14 deposit and wait a year, and then all of a sudden, hey, here's your invoice for $200. Pay up. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. Like, where'd that come from? The only ones I'm honestly sticking to, which I have worked into my financial plan, is Mars Toys. They're going pretty hard on 89 and 92 Batman, which I love. It's my childhood. I love it. And they're just filling a void that I know Hot Toys isn't. So there's pieces there that I'm getting, like the Bruce Wayne. They're teasing Penguin, stuff like that. So, and Mars Toys has been very reliable in terms, like the Joker. That Joker is phenomenal for that price. I'm sorry, it is $170. You got so much stuff with it. I have it. It's top 5 figure purchase for me for this year so far is that Joker. But I'm not just getting everything like, oh, I like that. I stay away from all that stuff. I stick very much with Mars Toys, 89, 92 Batman. That's where I'm at right now, because otherwise it keeps me in check.
I've been pretty good. My shields have been raised up. There hasn't been the last couple things that I've gravitated towards third party knockoffs is probably the Juice Girl Hella, and they did that right simply because it was a complete facsimile of Hot Toys. I have not had the best of luck with these third party figures. They either come in where the quality is below subpar, or for the most part, I've had to work and fix them. The Dark Side was one that I decided to take a leap of faith, and I was punished for it. I really, really was. And I've stopped. I'm like, enough is enough. I've had enough of these enough of this third party knockoff bullshit. And that's where the title comes in. Oh, hey, DeLorean. I honestly feel, and I'm going to stop my foot, I feel these third party little nightmares are distracting us from the true grails. And I look, the Mars Joker, the Cesar, and I love fucking Cesar Romero. I think he's such a brilliant actor back in his day. I think that's a great figure. I don't have time for that game. Well, the game is, well, that means that they're going to make Julie Newmar Catwoman. Then they're going to make, what's his name? No. Not on the eve of Flashpoint, which I strongly believe it's going to be $1 billion film, and it could be a potential No Way Home.
It's going to be Hot Toys. I think it's going to be Hot Toys' last run for DC having a huge cash grab. And then you're going to see, and then we're going to hit a bottom pit of 2.0s and reissues from DC until James Gunn starts pumping out movies.
No, I look at the now and I try to project myself into the future, at least 1 year in the future. And it seems that within the 1/6 scale community, you dangle something shiny and it's like, well, you got to pre-order it. And then you're right, that invoice. And especially with a lot of these Hong Kong retailers, they don't mess around. If you don't pay, you
Within
lose.
about a week, they cancel or less.
It's like, I think KG Hobby is like 2 weeks and you're out the game. That's it. There is no sympathy. Hey, Lauren, I know you live in this world and you love burying yourself in this trash. What say you?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm setting you up.
Oh no, for sure, go for it. I mean, I hate all over this stuff. So, no, I collect. I just collect what I like, and you know what? And if I can't get it licensed, I'll get a third party, and I have no shame in that. And but now the thing is like I'm not going to pay hot toy prices for an unlicensed product.
Agreed.
It just comes down to that. Now, for example, that Romero Joker, that's awesome. I paid $170, and that's a hell of a price.
And you get so much with it too.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, that's just a deal. Like, and the quality and what you get for it, awesome. Now
this prints
like,
looks like shit.
Yeah, like I'm not like there's some that just quality. Like there's some figures like anything from Mars is great. Anything from I find from So-So is like their quality has been pretty consistent overall. Toys Era, majority of their stuff is pretty consistent. And you know, if they get a lot of customer hate, like, you know, from feedback, they have been known to update or change, make some changes. So those three seem to be pretty solid. If those three like third parties release anything or announce anything, I think you're pretty safe. But stuff like that, like those villains, like that Riddler there, yeah. That's coming home.
I got that on pre-order.
Yeah, like stuff like that. That's going to go great with my the Val Kilmer Batman and you know, Junk Robin.
Junk Robin.
Junk Robin.
Yeah.
His crotch.
Cod piece Robin.
Cod piece Robin. 3D codpiece Robin or Throbbin. What's the other one?
Yeah, like and I was excited about that. I know that that there's some issues with that penguin, but you know what? How long I've been waiting for like, you know, like an 89 or the 92. 92 penguin. You know, it's not perfect, but you know what? The price is right. Great. And if we get a licensed one, guess what? That one goes to the back of the Magic case, and I'll get the license. I'll get the license.
And Mars Toys is doing the duck boat too.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're going to do penguin, the duck boat, and an army of penguins.
And then that Willy Wonka, man, I've been dying for a Willy Wonka ever since I started collecting.
But I told you that's not Gene. I don't know who that is. That's an imposter. But this is the thing, and you kind of bring up something that I think collectors just settle. That's not Gene Wilder. I'm sorry.
Comes with the Oompa Loompa.
Hold on. Let me see if I can get a better photo here. I mean, if you squint and you put Vaseline in your left eye, I guess. I don't look at this. I mean, who is this? This is a doppelganger from the multiverse. That's not Gene Wilder. God damn it. If you tell me that's Gene Wilder, I'm going to lose my shit.
I do agree the mouth should stay closed.
And then Penguin, I thought was clever, where they took a lot of these production photos, like in the shadows, but yet if you get to the right one, that right there.
Yeah, it looks a little weird, yeah.
That, and to pull off the illusion, well, you got to keep him, you know, with his top hat and the coat and in the dark, and he's a dark character, and when you take the right photo and the light in, and it's just like right here, like, well, that's a decent photo.
Yeah.
Right.
As long as they don't think that they're playing in the big boy ring.
Well, for $168, I mean,
yeah,
that was like, if that was like a $270 figure, I'd say you can go kiss all day.
Exactly.
But like, It's $168. I mean, that's if it stays within that
Sure.
price
I
range.
mean,
I think
it's $168 here, and then why not? Let's get you know, Willy Wonka. Well, you know what? My
well,
stuff
that's the
there.
responsibility of
Let's
the
grab
collector.
this one. Let's.
Well, that's
grab
the
Riddler.
responsibility of the collector curating their own collection and kind of, you know, they got to have restraint. Like I said, I'm 89, 92 Batman. That's it. Because I have a vision because I am incorporating, like you said, Denobi.
Yeah.
Flashpoint is being incorporated into that. When I said, because I have the DXO, what is it, 7 or 8, the old Batman 89. I have that one already, and I pre-ordered the new one because I have a vision of where my Batman collection's going. So that's why I was fortunate enough to kind of weave these into already the Flashpoint figures that, you know, if and when we get those. But I don't dabble in any like none of this other stuff, like the Mars Toys, Dr. Fate, right there. No, the Last Father, no. The Shining, love Jack Nicholson, but that's not Jack Nicholson. It's a stunt double, it looks like, on him. The Blade looks awesome, but that money, then it comes to figures, like that money can be allocated to something else.
Yeah.
So I stick I stick within my confines very strictly, and then that's it.
Yeah, it's usually like, it's very rare. Like for example, that Willy Wonka for me has some very special meaning because, like for me, like I designed some of the Willy Wonka slot machines that you see in the casino floor. So that has some very special meaning for me. So like if it doesn't look exactly like Gene, well, I don't care. I want a Willy Wonka figure. So it just has some very special.
There's definitely some sentimental value.
So,
that
yeah, because I want that in my office at you know by my Willy Wonka memorabilia that's there that you know that I can have with it, and it just it'll look great. But any of the other figures that I have, they're there to complement the Grail figures, like the licensed figures that are in the back. They're there to complement.
You entered the realm of module cases, right? You're now getting that taste of classy display, and do you want to build a module case full of knockoffs?
No, it's tasteful. Like the good ones in the front, the not so good ones in the back. Just like that's they're in the back. With the not so good lighting.
Dim it down in the back. Don't put the lights so much in the back.
Yeah, but I mean they're there. It's just like they do.
But that was a very good point. We said they compliment, like the Riddler. He's Batman and Robin are the focus. The Riddler is a secondary character to that. That when you see them all together, I agree with that. Like they're secondary. Very rarely are they, like right now, my Cesar Romero Joker sticks out like a sore thumb because I don't have Batman and Robin. But if I had Batman and Robin and him, I think you would look at them as a whole and be like, damn, that's a nice set that you have there. But right now, my Cesar Romero sticks out like a sore thumb on the shelf because I don't have anything else right at the moment. So
yeah, see, like I got
dangerous. They're dangerous.
I had the Batman and Robin Hot Toys. That was one of the first. I think it was like the 4th or 5th Hot Toy figure I purchased way back in the day, and then it was like, and then for years, and then they teased that Cesar Romero years and years ago, and I was waiting for it the whole time, like, okay, where's it to complement those guys? Where's it to complement Batman and Robin? And it just never came, and now I finally got it. It's like, yeah.
You've never, Mr. Mom, you've never been caught in that bait and switch with a third party figure, where then people are so blindsided. I'll give you an example, like the Cable, that and then Hot Toys ended up making it, and then it just killed the value, and it essentially turned to third party Cable.
No, there's the only figure that I have that if they did, they'd have to do a reissue of is if Mars Toys did if Hot Toys redid the '89 Joker, the Jack Nicholson Joker, because I have the Mars Toys versions of that because I wasn't going to spend $700 for that figure. I paid $160 for it, and it complements very well. That would be the only one where, like, if they did like a 2.0 of Jack Nicholson, that'd be like, all right, well, I got this one that he's the poor cousin that,
But even the Mars one, that's
really
good. I got him right beside the Hot Toy one.
I know, yeah,
and you
really
can't. And it's
no,
solid.
You're right. It's there's things when, especially I guess when you get enough figures. Like for me, I have certain expectations when I get figures. Like for me, the ankles are like the crappiest thing on them. Like the ankles, like they just give out. Like my Cesar Romero can't stand on its own. I have it with the pack on, with the gun, the dehydration gun, and I have him on the base. The base also looks cool because it's like hot pink. So the base itself looks cool. But like the Jack Nicholson Joker, it like has trouble standing up on its own because they always have weak angles. So like I can do like a body swap, but then that gets into what Denobi's talking about. You're starting to invest a little extra money, then that $150 turns into 200, then it's like then it's like that. So I kind of know, like, I'll just put
You understand where I'm getting at, where
you have to have discipline as a collector.
we're sitting at 130 pre-orders right now from Hot Toys, right? The number one 1/6 scale manufacturer, and about a good third of those are in the weightless full category. Meaning that if you have second thoughts about going back for some of those, the secondary market, you're going to pay dearly. Now, the argument could be said, well, some of these third-party figures tend to climb up in price. Me personally, have not experienced that. I've experienced nothing but pure sadness for the most part when I buy a third party. How much work did I spend on that Doc Ock third party figure that I was so excited to get? It still breaks my. I think I mean, it's in my Spider-Man cave all the way in the back. But the minute that the Hot Toys Alfred Molina Doc Ock shows up, that's going into storage. I've been disappointed. Same thing for Decker for Blade Runner. Oh my God, Ada Laurie knows this one.
Yeah, that's probably my worst third party one that I
right there. I wanted to jump in front of a bus. I go, this is.
It doesn't even look like Harrison Ford. That's the one that really doesn't look like anything.
No, Dark Side was the one. So I've been burnt, and to me, curating the collection that I want to that level of quality of standard isn't going to work for me for this year. When a third of the Hot Toy characters that I want have entered this realm of weightless full, and weightless full is pretty damn scary. This is what everybody wanted when I started doing these live streams back in 2020 when I was working from home. This is what everybody wanted. Everybody wanted to buy a Hot Toys, and then 30 to 60 days later, you can either sell it for retail or make a little bit of chump change. That way you can buy the next thing, right? Well, we've now entered that era. We have now entered that era where history is almost repeating itself. Now everyone's being punished, right? Now everybody, look how excited you were, Mr. Ron, when you told me you got yourself the Attack of the Clones R2-D2. Look, I'll bet you, because of the scarcity of it, you put on those ruby goggles and you're looking at that like, my God, my precious, my wonderful. And that's what's
I'll tell you something right now. The excitement when someone posts in a group chat, like, hey, this site has one left that I buy from regularly. I shit you not, I was like, my fingers couldn't go fast enough to put that pre-order in, because I wasn't gonna get them. I got Mando Luke right here, which I love. I got Mando Luke right here, and to be honest with you, I know it's not exactly canon to whatever it is, but I'm gonna put him with Mando Luke, and I'm happy. But like I said, I saw the reviews on that thing. I'm like, damn, I missed out. I made a mistake. My fingers could not go fast enough to get that R2, especially at $275. So I didn't pay an inflated price on that.
Exactly.
But I was like,
well, that's the excitement that we had before 2020 happened.
And the problem is with that, Denobi, is that like right before that, I bought the iconic Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. I bought that figure. I bought that from 1/6 Kit because American Psycho is my favorite movie of all time. And I actually canceled that figure on Sideshow when it went through all of its product issues and delays. And then that thing slipped under the waitlist radar. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I missed that figure. And shout out to Bretta. He was like, yo, 1/6 got him in stock. I was like, fingers couldn't operate fast enough. So I spent like $400 in like 5 minutes. It was like, okay, I'll deal with it later. But I was very excited. Like that excitement, like, yeah, that was awesome. That was absolutely awesome.
My point is that I honestly feel, because we're in this environment of collecting is we're veterans. Ada Lorian's a veteran. We're still navigating this. Are we going to end up with regrets? Are we going to end up being punished by history? Ada Lorian is just like me. Sometimes 6 months down the road, you know what? All right, I hated the Batman tumbler. All right, it's discounted. They could probably come home now, right? It's situations like that. And because we've entered this weightless full era, this generation of like, my God, if you don't pre-order something now and you have second thoughts later, you're going to end up paying dearly for it. I honestly still feel that third-party knockoffs are just still distracting from the main. Now, I guess if you go conservative, I believe you, Mr. Mom. If you say you're only, conservatively dabbling here when the neighbors aren't looking.
The only pre-orders I have is Bruce Wayne. I have, whatever's tied to 89-92 Batman is all that I have on pre-order right now.
But you also understand, though, too, that we are approaching that eve of Flashpoint.
I'm welcoming it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm trying to tell. I'm not trying to be like I'm one of those. I'm trying to tell people. I think it's legitimately going to be a $1 billion movie. It's obvious that based on the marketing, they're getting people's asses in the seats with Michael Keaton. I think they're going to go all in on him. I think the reviews I've seen already about the movies that he delivers on what you expect it to be. And if Hot Toys was smart, I think when it comes to DC, it's their last cash grab to be like, we got to make some figures to cash in on this, because after that, you don't have really anything until James Gunn does his reboot. And then he honestly has to win the fans back that want to invest figures into DC, Superman, all this stuff. So I think what's going to happen is you're going to see a lull where you're going to see figures come out of the vault because they're not going to stop making DC figures. They got to produce something for the IP.
They'll make something to keep the lights.
I think you'll see 2.0s. I think you'll see 2.0s and figures come out of the vault for a period of time to fill a gap, and then you'll start seeing teases of the new stuff.
So, because we've entered this era of weightless full and things are climbing, I think the sour period of early 2022 and half part of 2021 is coming to a close, and it's this generation of figures right here. This 190. This, by the way, I'm not a partnership. I'm not getting sponsored by Lion Rock Toys. They're the ones I'm giving them a free shout out since I was able on Star Wars May the 4th buy this at retail. So that's the only reason they're getting a freebie from me. I was able to pick up a second clone pilot from Lion Rock Toys at retail, and Lion Rock Toys is known for their free shipping, no tax. So, but again, I didn't reach out to the owner. He knows me. This is not being sponsored, but I know that this era of figures right here, this is just a small sample that left a lot of collectors, Hot Toy collectors, so sour. A lot of them left and decided to go off and run off and just collect statues and so forth. And you guys know who they are, but and like, the hell with Hot Toys. And then all of a sudden, right, YouTubers that shunned off Hot Toys all of a sudden are now reviewing the clone pilot as a beauty piece. So no shame on you folks, know who I'm referring to. But anyway, you guys know who I'm referring to. Look, when it comes to all of this, third party and no, it's just no.
Not the fast story. Kill it if you have to.
That wasn't the clip I wanted, but we're going to segue to the good one right now. This is the clip I really intended.
It's time to let old things die. Snoke, Skywalker, the Sith, the Jedi, the Rebels. Let it all die. Rey, I want you to join me.
Oh goodness, Mr. Mom,
Hate flow through you.
This is the one where I sit back with my popcorn and listen.
Yeah, Mr. Mom is not a Star Trek fan. In fact, to him, Star Trek sounds like an anime. It's alien to you, right? Get it? Star Trek.
I'm not totally oblivious. I'm just not a fan. I'm just not personally a fan. I'm not totally oblivious to it all, but I'm just not my forte. Let's put it that way. I don't dabble in Star Trek.
Something that was posted today, and I don't know if this is true or not. Maybe it's the fans who are still supporting, who are watching EXO-6, can confirm. As of 2023, the last and only pre-order was it Harry Kim. I asked Hayden Lauren earlier tonight, and he wasn't sure because he's out of the game. I left EXO-6. God, probably last year. When did I make my my exodus? When did I purge anything Star Trek? Because it feels like it's been like a boil, like a tumor, right? when it comes to just Star Trek, and then the association of EXO-6, and then the state of Star Trek with Paramount Plus. I guess both entities have just left me really sour. I've just left this dark black void in my heart. And I people keep asking me, I keep getting DMs, I keep getting screenshots, and I'm like, look, to me, Star Trek is done. It's just done. No love. It's done. I didn't even make the pilgrimage to see Picard season 3, even though I know it's a good show. But for me, that ship has sailed. I'm not going to pay for Paramount Plus. No, they knew I was a Star Trek fan when I subscribed to them. They knew I watched all of the classic films when I had Paramount Plus. And I know that we live in a day and age of streaming where analytics is king. They know exactly what I'm watching. They know exactly what I'm clicking on. And they know exactly where I left off on Picard season 2. And that same week, I canceled, even though they're desperately sending me emails to join back up for Paramount Plus for $5.99 or some ridiculous discount rate. It's done. It's done. The remnants of Star Trek and the 1/6 scale figure is right behind me. In fact, that's it. Whatever you see in the miscellaneous module case, that is it. I am done. Hey, Lauren, what's the last EXO-6 figure you got?
Cisco.
The Cisco.
Yeah, and that was a good figure. But like then I started picking and choosing my figures, and actually, and the last figure that I pre-ordered from them is Quark, because that was the last figure that I thought looked remotely good. And now there was a love fest on EXO-6 that happened, and I was just curious. Like, I mean, it was like, yeah, there was, kind of saying like, hey, it's like everything that was produced was amazing. Really? Was it everything really amazing? Like that? Like now, I don't want to hate on EXO-6. They produce some good figures, some really good stuff. What I can hate on is the inconsistency of their figures.
Yeah.
They didn't produce everything great. They produced some really good ones out the gate. They knocked it out of the park, and we got really excited. I mean, I was a big champion of them right out the gate. Like they knocked it out of the park with their like Picard and Data right out the gate, and some of the stuff they were showing. But like, man, like then the head sculpts really started looking bad. Like, and then like Janeway was like, and the Doctor was.
The Doctor was the one that just, it aged like milk. Like the more I kept looking at it, like, what did I just commit to?
And then
Seven was the biggest one.
7 of 9. I mean, I've seen like Mattel figures that look better.
Yeah.
With better head sculpts. Like it's really bad. Like anybody that tells me that, okay, like they're on par with with Picard and Data, that's on the same level. Come on. You're okay. You're in fanboy status. Like
completely.
Yeah, you're not being true. Like you're not adding any value. You're not being real criticism to the community here. Like it's just like, I'm just saying, I'm saying it because I want him to be better. I want to keep buying Star Trek figures, but the thing is, there's so much good stuff here. Like I'm like, look, I'm a big collector. I buy a lot of stuff here. Like
I know you do. So it's a big deal when you actually pause on the breaks. Yeah.
Like I'm buying, like, I throttled back on Marvel because of phase 4 and 5, but I'm still buying Marvel. I buy Star Wars, DC. I still got some like I said, I got Quark still coming in. If the right Star Trek comes in, if it looks good, I'm going to get it. Like I didn't swear off EXO-6, but they got to step it up, and it has to be the right figure. Everything like Janeway barely cuts it. It's like
barely. Yeah.
Anything after Janeway, just like no, I'm sorry. Everything is just horrible after Janeway. Like the QMX figures, the old series fig QMX. Yeah. I'm sorry, they age better than some of the stuff that EXO-6 has been done.
Yeah.
Like the recent Voyager stuff that they've been doing. Like, and I got them right beside, like I'm staring them right here, right beside the QMX versus the EXO-6. Yeah, okay, the Picard and Data ones, yeah, they're rocking. But the QMX Picard, well, that's a hell of a lot better than the Doctor, the Holo Doctor and Janeway.
Yeah. Let me pause you there 1 second. Let me give a little bit of love over here. Thank you, Lane, for the $2 super chat. Yes, third party does offer more choice, but again, we're talking about EXO-6 in this crowded market. This is a fierce, competitive, crowded market. Everybody is wooing you for your dollar. It is what it is. But that being said, though,
Exactly. And so on that point, yeah, third party offers more choice. I don't need 6 Picards.
Thank you, Lane.
Wow, thank you so much for the super chat. Denobi extends his gratitude for your support. Trust knowing your contribution helps. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I
I don't need 6 Picards. Like, you know what? You know what I want? I want, William Shatner. Like, but I don't need, motion picture with William Shatner. Okay, there's 2 William Shatners I'll get. I'll get the original, like the old series, like the original series, and I'll get Wrath of Khan William Shatner. Those are the 2 Shatners I want. Those great. And I'll get I'll get the Doc, Shatner, and Spock there. I'll get those 3 absolutely. Day one, I'll get those ones for sure. Now
even Bones, which doesn't look like Bones.
Man, it depends. Like it once it goes up for PO, and then I'll. Okay, fuck.
Oh,
come
this
on,
stuff
man.
is rough.
I won't get that. I like that. I won't get it. No.
Yeah.
No.
I just don't. I don't trust them anymore. I don't.
No, but that. Show me the Shatner.
I want hippie Bones. Let's go. I don't even. Right here. Looks okay.
I get that. Yeah.
On, right.
Okay. That's good.
All right. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine, and then
if they deliver that, I'd be happy.
Like you said off screen, they're encountering more losses than wins.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it just feels like I don't trust them. It's more of a vote of confidence. And even though these are prototype photos, the prototype photos need to sell me. And if the prototype photos aren't selling me, then they're doing something wrong.
And there's so much stuff out there. Like I'm only going to buy so many figures a year, and there's so much stuff out there. Even third party. There's third party out there. There's third party people out there, like manufacturers that are doing way better than this.
Yeah. What I told.
And I know that there's like, okay, like, well, it's only it's Star Trek. At least you support it. Like, no, look. I don't need so many versions of Picard. I don't need so many versions. Like, I don't want junk versions of Voyager figures. I want to get figures that I'm going to enjoy and like and want. I'm not going to support a line to eventually get maybe 7 years down the road that figure I want.
Yeah. So we're 5 months into 2023, and the only pre-order. Again, I can't confirm I'm assuming it's Tenzin Harry Kim. So they're falling behind already. Aren't they? I feel like they're falling behind already. I'm watching them that Ensign Harry Kim. Look, I told this to Mafia a couple days ago because I know he's associated with EXO-6. And I tried to explain to him, what if your first ticket into the world of EXO-6 is the Doctor from Star Trek Voyager? Holy shit.
Or God forbid, Harry Kim.
First, or Harry Kim. Or 7 of 9 and that long ass
Chakotay
or Chakotay with his little beady eyes that they can't get right. Or 7 of 9 and that long ass neck. I don't understand that.
Now, if your first your first entry point was Picard, well, guess what? You're going to be as happy as
I was.
As I was.
You saw it. you saw it in my review.
I was a
when I
huge
got the card.
fanboy.
Yeah.
And then same with Data. Awesome. But
He
you know
knows
what?
figures out there. These kids. We won't.
You know, just like my accountant used to say, you know, sometimes you have to call the baby ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, you really do. And then again, we're living in a day and age of where everybody is trying to grab your dollar. I really wanted them to succeed, and unfortunately, there's been these cost-cutting tactics that have been happening. It just look, it's plain and simple. It is a 100% vote of no confidence. I don't trust them.
And the same thing is like I still want them to succeed. It's just like if they just got to make a product I want. But I mean, he can keep putting out, like he's making that. Who the hell's really, who's going to buy that new card? Like, I watched season 3 of a card. Okay, it was good, but you know what? I didn't like it because I hated season 1 and 2 so much. Season 1 and 2 put such a sour taste on my mouth. It prevented me from really enjoying season 3, and it was good, but
not good enough to sway you to pre-order.
No, it's just like I'm watching it the whole time. It's like, oh man, I just God, I wish I didn't watch 1 and 2. The whole time I'm watching season 3, I'm just like, I wish I didn't watch season 1 too.
You didn't, Mr. Mom, you didn't watch any of the Picard Shlock, did you? The seasons. Okay, good for you. Yeah. God bless you. I tell you what. You didn't miss anything with seasons 1 and 2, and it's been a long road from there to there. Well, I'm sure it is, Mike. I'm sure it's been a long road. Actually, but the problem is that the rules have changed in the world of collecting right now. Things are getting pretty aggressive. Again, a third of Hot Toys' figures on waitlist full. They're going to probably run into chase prices and probably double prices on the secondary market. And then you have the distractions of the third party shenanigans that some of us don't want to confess that we're dabbling when the neighbors aren't looking.
Now,
so
is it me? Like, for some reason, if I'm going to get the Star Trek license, like, and maybe, you know, like, and I'm no Star Trek guru, so maybe, you know, Rob Burnett can this could be referred to Rob Burnett, but like, if you're going to get the Star Trek license and you're going to make figures, I think the first thing I would make figures of would be the original series and Star Trek Generation.
Yeah,
I think that would, like, if I'm going to make figures, 6 scale figure, I'm going to cater that. Like, I don't know. I'm maybe I don't know. maybe I'm maybe I'm not a business guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a collector. Yeah. Maybe because that's what I would buy. But I think, oh my God, no.
I can't.
No.
Yeah, I know, Mr. Rom, you can't see it. I grew up with Voyager. I saw, when I was working at night, I programmed the VCR to record Voyager episodes, and I'm sorry for what they're asking for. No, I can't support something like this. I can't. I can't. But you love Star Trek. Of course, I fucking love Star Trek Voyager, but this is an abomination. It doesn't work like that.
And I can be fair, like somebody that really loves Star Trek, I can understand that they'd be excited for this and want to support it and just be happy that they get it. Okay, great. I'd be happy if it was $150 figure. Like, but it's not. It's like if it was more of a third party figure, sure. It's not. It's like, it doesn't.
They're expensive, even at the $200. It just is, right? Right?
Oh,
and you get quality like this. It gets thrown. How did you put it? It gets thrown at the bottom of the totem pole. It really, really does.
All right, yeah. Bring on that EXO-6 Love Fest and throw that picture up there. I want to see the excuses. I want to hear the excuses. I want to hear, okay, well, no, it's the lighting, it's this, it's that. It was a bad hair day. It was it was a bad everything day. it was poor choices made.
Big time. I need to show, we're segueing into the last topic. We're gonna have some fun with this one, but
This is the one I need my popcorn for.
to put the let's set the stage first. All right, let's invest a couple minutes into this before we get into it. Let's play this. Hell product. This is a high-end diorama.
Oh, no.
I asked Sean here to help me with the accessories because I'm not exactly sure what piece goes where. He's a little bit more familiar. Sorry, hold on one second. I was trying to get the full screen on here. Let me see here, and then the components and the, like, do it. There you go. Let's start from the beginning. This is just a 2-minute clip to put things in perspective. I asked Sean here to help me with the accessories because I'm not exactly sure what piece goes where.
Notice the
he's
paint.
a little bit more familiar as to adding the components and the gears and the pulleys and so forth. And I just wanted to kind of zoom in on it just to see the steering wheel there. I guess I don't know. I'm more. I was expecting just a bit more weathering. I really was, especially the paint right there. I look at shots like this and I'm just like, man, that just kills the illusion. That really does, especially for what he's asking for this as far as the. I mean, you can see the paint right there. You can see the paint probably applied with like a nail polish brush. It's not even wrapped around. The price point. It's just, I don't know. It's yeah. Now I will give him credit on the chairs, the actual weathering and the paint application to the chairs. And the exposed screws right there, just in pure 4K, are great. I think the chairs look fine. The center knob console bars look fine. The steering wheels look a little bit too clean. Maybe a little bit more detailing. Probably would have been in order. The last accessory piece is the door, the back door, and I'm gonna let him explain how that works.
All right. So you got the magnet right here in the back bottom.
What bothers me in this scene here is this actual edge.
Yeah.
I would have preferred a slide and panel door.
And it's thick enough too, where it could have been slid back and forth.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at the Hot Toys one, that one slides in and out.
So it ends there. It's just a 2-minute clip. We're not going to go through it all. But the whole point of that is I had several people send me clips. So 1/6 Mafia on his channel, he had Robert Meyer Burnett on his channel. Go check out 6 Mafia, and he had him for patch. I didn't see the stream. And anytime, for the most part, I will watch Mafia and his live streams. But if he's talking Trek or if he has Robert Meyer Burnett, I typically will just avoid the show. It's just not my cup of tea. It's just topics that I don't really particularly care for. But I did have several people send me clips where Robert Meyer Burnett did drop my name a couple times, and it put me into perspective that I was just destroying this Falcon, that I just went to town on this review. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to play the clip showing you, look, what I did was 4K blast the Falcon cockpit.
Mm-hmm.
And what I had intended to do with the video was not so much to embarrass Jazz Inc., but too much just to educate the community. Look, this was what was purchased. This is what the final product was. And what was said on 6 Mafia's channel with Robert Burnett was just excuses, where he got his Falcon cockpit around the exact same time, and he thought it was the best thing ever. And to the point that someone even commented on the stream that you felt like a kid on Christmas morning. It didn't bother me. When someone mentions my name or they don't agree with something that I particularly say or do, it does not bother me. That's one of the beautiful things about YouTube, right? But the only thing that kind of bothered me was that my review was just kind of discredited as that I was out for bashing. The tone, the complexity, the editing of that Vita was exactly what you saw. What I did was 4K blast Hadalorian's Falcon cockpit, and to this day, since we're talking about 4K blasting, everybody's been preaching about the Jazz Inc. 1966 Batmobile. I have yet to see a true 4K blast video review of the 66 Batmobile. Now, everybody's entitled to their opinion. It just really is. And what I learned from the clips that were shared with me was that if Robert Meyer Burnett got the similar Falcon cockpit with exposed screws and with the wheat paint applications, that just tells me either two things: either he's easily impressed, or B, his standards are just a little bit subpar compared to mine. Because if he thought that was the best thing since sliced bread, then I clearly understand where his opinion lies between mine. Go ahead, Hayden. I know you want to.
Well,
chime
yeah,
in.
there's so much to chime in here. So chances are if he was an early backer like me, I was probably one of the first backers of this Falcon cockpit, like that paid it off in full. Like, I mean, I paid it right off the bat, full, boom. Like the second he put it up for pre-order, done that day. Now, being Dean, I was one of the first people that got it. Now, so I was the first gen, and because one of your videos, because you exposed the screws, he did it. The second batch came out, no screws, and so chances are he got a second batch that didn't have the screws exposed. So one of the things I had to do, like when I got it, the paint application was now. I watched the video.
To be honest, what we're watching here, this is his restoration rehab project. After I did the review, like 6 months later, this is Hadalorian going through a whole paint process to fix his purchase.
So yeah, I'm going to build up to that. So, but first, I watched the video with Robert Burnett talking about his experience with the Falcon cockpit, and I think it's completely, I actually went through the same emotions, same feelings, everything. Like when I opened it up, I was like, oh, wow, and everything. And I was like, wow, I finally got it and everything. And then just like, the more I kind of got into it, it's like, oh, okay. It's like, but like, because I mean, it's, you pay a lot of money for this. And I paid money I bought customs before. And the run on this isn't this is like, they say, okay, it's a mom and pop shop. That's how it's toted, kind of thing. But you know what? It's not mom and pop shop runs. These are manufacturer type runs. So like when you're doing runs of, 200 to 300, 500, 900 batches, guess what? You surpass the mom and pop shop. I have a 1/6 scale snow speeder from Phil's Customs, amazing custom builder outside of Chicago, Illinois. And it is awesome. Awesome. Star Killer 99, he recently got one. And Phil's Custom, I think he builds like 6 of these a year. And I got mine, I think about 5-6 years ago. And it's amazing. Like this, like he builds a set of light material. You can hold it up, you can hang it from ceiling, everything. And it's awesome. And the weathering he does on this is incredible. And I paid $650 for this.
And you sent me the photos, and we're not going to talk about the snow speeder. We're going to play apples to apples.
But I just want to say, like, I mean, you get what I'm saying, like, okay, that's a one-off custom. Now, and you're doing batches of this. And I paid $1,300 for this in hand. And I'm thinking like, okay, now okay, I'm excited once I get it in hand and I go through all the emotions, everything. And then I plug it in. It doesn't plug, like the light goes, it doesn't plug in. And so then I had to order a part off eBay, or not eBay, off Amazon to actually get the lights to work. And so now the lights actually work, and it's great. And it looks amazing plugged in. So now the kind of say, like Robert said, like, he expected it not to be screen accurate. Cool. But you know what? Jazz Inc. prides himself on being screen accurate. it's not screen accurate.
Thank you. Which, as a perfect example, it was between that whole Batmobile 89 drama that happened a while back, right?
Yeah.
That Hot Toys is inaccurate and Minds is accurate, right? That's one of the big things.
And
now,
and he does, and he does disclose it's not a licensed it is like an unlicensed third party toy, right? It's a fair point, but again, I'll fall back on Jazz Inc. He boasts about it being screen accuracy. Like even when he was building this, you can go back on his Facebook page, talks about screen accuracy. So
just to pause you, let me answer this really quick. This one comment here. Adam Savage did review the 1966 Batmobile, but it was in 1080p and there were no close-up shots. Apparently, a lot of the folks that are getting the 66 Batmobile tend to keep it at a certain distance, and the ones that really love the ones that tend to get really close, even at the 1080p, they're still making excuses. Well, it's a mom and pop shop, just like you said, it's a mom and pop shop. Just excuses are being made.
Yeah,
my point. Let me 1 second. My point is that if you as a customer purchased this Falcon cockpit in the state it was, and you think it was the cat's meow, that tells me that your standards are a little bit different than most other collectors. But go ahead.
Yeah. So if you're a mom and pop shop, I would say, Phil, because when you're doing like 6 a year, that's a mom, and you're hand building these. Okay, that's a mom and pop shop. When you're manufacturing these like 200 to 500 of these at a time, you're a manufacturer now. You're not a mom and pop shop. I'm sorry. And with the components and everything in here, so when I had this, so I had to purchase the part off Amazon to get the lights to work. And then when I had this with my collection, and with it didn't feel right. It just looked like it was a big blob of gray resin. And so I just had to take the plunge. And so I did a lot different bunch of painting techniques and did some experiments. And then I plopped down about $300 in paint. And then I redid the whole painting myself. And that's what came out.
You even had the 66 Batmobile on pre-order too, didn't you?
I was actually one of the very first backers of the 66 Batmobile, and because of the quality of the Justice Mobile, and I had the Falcon cockpit first, and then the Justice Mobile, and after the 2 experience of these, and I have the snow speeder. Or not the snow speeder, but the land speeder, Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Land speeder. And the paint job on that. It's okay for what it is. I didn't hate it, but it was essentially it was the Justice.
I always feel this is something that they settle for, where pride gets involved and you are embarrassed to admit that the product that you decided to buy, say the 1966 Batmobile, in an $1,800 Hot Wheels, right? Yeah. You convince yourself.
Yeah, I had the 66 paid off and everything, and exactly said but it just kept going on, like delayed, and then the whole DC license thing came up, and then that delayed it even further, and then the Justice League Mobile came out. And with the quality issues with that, I was just like, yeah, I want my money back. I just want it. I don't trust what the 66 is going to come out as. And I was just done after that buying any more Jazz Inc. products.
What did you buy from them, Mr. Mom? Did you buy something from them?
So my story's a little interesting. I actually have both 89 Batmobiles on order. The Jazz Inc. and the Hot Toys.
A leap of faith here.
And I'm all right with that. Listen, I'm all right with that. I pre-ordered the Hot Toys one just because, and it works out for me because I'm gonna have 2 separate displays. So I'm gonna use one as the 89 and one as the 92. So it all works out. I said this on multiple streams. I know exactly what Jazz Inc. what I'm getting involved with, where it could be a diamond. It could be a dud, whichever one. What I do plan on doing, if anyone in the community does take me seriously enough about it, I am planning on doing a genuine side-by-side review comparison of them and exposing everything. 4K, call it
4K blast.
I'll do whatever the hell.
4K blast.
I'll fly out to Vegas. You buy me a ticket. We'll do. No, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. For that amount of money, I do have a set standard of what I expect the vehicle to be. I'm paying it off monthly, so like I said, I'm okay with that. I got some flack, like, oh, I can't believe I love 89 that much that I'm all in on 89. There's
you did set the stage early on with the third party figures. That
did I not say that? So I did commit. I said 89 all in, and I meant all in. Hey, listen. I'm the guy with a broken DeLorean technically, so I know if Jazz Inc. or somebody else made another DeLorean, I would probably buy another DeLorean. I love those movies. There's certain movie cars that I love so much but that being said, I'm going to give it a very honest review. I'll comb over it. I'll videotape everything very much up close. If there's anything that's wrong with it, it will be called out, as is. I'm not going to be bashing. It's just going to be what it is.
I just feel that the collectors right now that have his products don't have the balls to.
No, and I'm okay. And and it goes back to what you said. And I'm okay if people don't believe. I'm okay if people don't believe me or not. I'm sticking true to myself when I say I'm going to review it the way it is. I do think it's also the same thing with the in-art Joker. I hate to bring that up, but I do think that the fact is you spend a high amount of money on something for a very long period of time, and then when you get it, but you don't want to admit that you're underwhelmed with what you have. Is a nice way of putting it. Like the Joker, you spend $1,000 on a 6 scale figure, and to be honest with you, I know people who love it, but the general consensus that I get is it's a good 1/6 scale figure. It's good, not worth the money, but it's good figure. And I just don't think there's any. Man, I've had people complain about the figure, but still give it a 10 out of 10. How's that possible? How is it that possible that you're complaining about things wrong with it, but you still give it a 10 out of 10? That's another topic for another day. But I do think you're right about that. I think people, you're paying like the Batmobile. I'm paying 15 months worth of payments on it. 15 months,
and you paid $1,000 for that figure, and the ankles don't support it.
Yeah, whatever it may be. Like complain about that on a $167 figure, but on a $1,000 figure, that thing better be perfect out of the box. Yeah. And I do have the expectation with the 89 Batmobile. Like I'm in my head already thinking about certain things that could be wrong, just because for the sake of he's going to try things like he's going to try the two-tone color paint because the car was technically black and purple. He's debating about whether to do, and that's the only gripe I have. I never really bash them in the sense of oh, they suck as a company. But what bothered me was the community really kind of divided on the Hot Toys 89 Batmobile when we never have an actual. That's the only thing I always said about the 89 that bothered me a lot, Denobi, was you have Hot Toys that they were so quick to judge the inaccuracy of the vehicle, but we don't technically have a physical product from Jazz Inc. to compare it to. We have renderings, 3D renderings. There's no physical prototype of the car. Produce a physical prototype, and then if the Hot Toys one isn't up to snuff, it's okay. We learn from an $800 price point to a $1,500 price point. There's a big difference there. So you're going to get the quality that you're going to pay for. So I'm getting both, and I'm interested to see what I get. Bottom line.
I've always been very transparent with certain products that I believe in, and then as they age accordingly, I've always represented it. And there are, for example, the perfect example is the DeLorean. You folks out there know I love the DeLorean, but I made it very clear that my DeLorean was a train wreck, and I'm going to, even though I know it had quality or QC issues, I still prevailed, but I still made everything 100% transparent and disclosed. And again, the camera that I used, my Panasonic, 4K blast. Hot toy vehicles are resilient to 4K blasting. I haven't seen a product from the company of Jazz Inc. that can withstand the 4K blasting. I'm going to put this out here. 1 second here. Anybody out there who is interested in letting me review the Jazz Inc. 1966 Batmobile so that I can give it a proper, true review, please reach out to me. Just DM me on Instagram. You can always find me here, right? I'll pay for shipping. I will be very gentle, white gloves, whatever. But I would love to review a true, not some of the reviews where folks are reviewing it in 720, standing from a distance, making bullshit excuses. I won't even talk. I'll hum, I'll sing, I'll tap dance, but I want my camera to get in and see everything. That's it. What's popping, people? Loco, where you been? Loco Lou showing up. Loco Lou.
Now, with that said, like, I mean, I really hope that the 66 is as good as everybody says it is.
I'm sure it's a decent vehicle. I want to know if it's a decent vehicle for $1,800 because it is a licensed vehicle. So now you get to judge it on that parameter. Now you get to really critique it, not circle jerk around and say how much you love. I grew up with 66. No. It's a competitive market. We have great vehicles. In fact, the DeLorean Mark II just got refixed, which picking up another one. I'm bringing up another
And so,
one.
and one of my biggest, and I have to say, like, and you know, and I will always, you know, call myself out, and like, it's like, and I think one of the things that Jazz has corrected himself in the past is like he doesn't do corrective batches anymore. It's just like that was one of the things that really irked me about the
explain
Falcon
it very
cockpit.
short term for folks that are just joining in about the batches. They may not be educated on.
Yeah. So, for example, like if you're an early adapter, if you're an early backer of like the Falcon cockpit, you would have got your first release to support it. You would have got the Falcon with the screw holes in the front, and then because of the complaints, then the second release of the Falcon cockpit, the screw holes were removed, so they were covered. And if you got the Justice Mobile, then chances are your axles would have been broken, and it was really, really heavy. There would have been some issues with the door, the swing doors coming open, and hinges broken and stuff like that. And then in the weight issues, the tires sinking because of the weight, and then
which I thought was funny. Folks,
mine's still on stilts, like underneath it.
So are you comfortable with that? I'm going to pause you right there, Mr. Mom. Are you comfortable if your 89 has to be kept on candy dishes for support? Are you cool with that?
I'm all in.
You are.
Yeah.
I can't listen. As you say, this is you go back to the records of YouTube. I can't back out. I said I'm all in on 89.
Damn it! You are so committed.
Risk is part of the game. You want to sit in that chair.
That's for you.
That's what it is, man. We'll talk in 16 months when hopefully I'm happy.
But
keep
in mind though, if yours starts to deteriorate, this is what's going to happen.
All right, then. You'll see no mercy from me.
That's right.
Hey man, you gotta pay to play. So I get it.
Yeah, and there was multiple versions of the jail mobile, like with those different versions of updates. So
yeah, I don't really care to talk about Jazz Inc. anymore. The only reason this became a topic for the end of this stream was because I didn't. You can talk anything. I mean, this is my rebuttal for Robert Meyer Burnett's appearance on 1/6 Scale Mafia. Yeah. Right? He just said I bashed the review on that Falcon cockpit.
No, it was honestly a fair review.
I thought it was fair,
but you can't and I think Robert's review, like his critique, I think his reaction to the Falcon was legit, and I think it was fair too. I had the same reaction too. I went through the same feels, but after it was, but realistically, it wasn't screen accurate. It it wasn't touted as screen accurate. Like the paint application is bad, and it just for what I paid for it, it wasn't there.
Yeah,
and it just I had to take it the extra steps. And when I'm paying $1,300 and I had to pay, and I had to go to Amazon and buy an extra part, and then I had to pay an extra $300 for paint, and I had to take an extra week of my time to paint it and learn how to do painting techniques and everything, and learn how to do that myself to get it to where I need it. I mean, that's not cool.
Yeah.
That's just not cool. Like you pay that kind of money, you want that should come like that.
God, I
think it goes back to the point. Like I said, it goes back to, I don't like to bring up the Inart Joker. Same thing. You pay for something, even Hot Toys, the DeLorean. You pay for something for X amount of dollars. You wait a year plus, and you have a certain expectation in your head. And I think sometimes your mind plays tricks on you that you maintain that expectation, and then you start to kind of like the fandom takes over, where it's like, and that was with the DeLorean. Like I was so like goo goo gaga that like I got the car that I wanted, opening it up. That in my review, I totally overshot the idea that even I had a broken tire. I had to have it called out after I did my review. And I owned up to it. I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, there it is. It's broken. I didn't notice it. I was so caught up in the adrenaline of opening up my first 1/6 scale vehicle and it being one of my 3 favorite movie cars, Ecto-1, 89 Batmobile, and the DeLorean. So it's like I got caught up in that fandom about it. I was like, oh, shit. I didn't realize it broke the wheel. Like, I mean, it's honest. We're human. The problem is, I think it's, as Denobi said, no one wants to kind of admit that. Oh, no. Man, once the hype wears off, it's like, oh, all right, this is what it is. Like, I think the DeLorean is the biggest bust for Hot Toys in 2023.
Yeah,
I only have it because I didn't pay retail for it. I used a substantial amount of rewards, and I got a little money back from Sideshow. I was content with the vehicle, but it's definitely the worst product they put out for 2023, and I include the marketing of how they handled it, which they went radio silent. Even if they fixed the car, they still didn't update anybody, so they don't get a pass for me on that. Even though they might have done some updates to it, they could have came out and said something like, hey, we got something in the works, this is what it is. They don't get a pass for me on that one, and that's why it's the worst product of 23 that they've done. That's my
for Hot Toys and the DeLorean. Yes,
for Hot Toys.
And my critique right now is 4K blast, and it's the quality, the imagery that I've yet to see on the 66. So for Mr. Fig Fake, I question, and I'm sure your 66 Batmobile is, for you personally, is the cat's meow. I'm talking about 4K blasted, and the difference between Hot Toys is DeLorean. Yeah, it had trouble in its hover converted state, but you know what the DeLorean can do that probably Jazzing's products can? The DeLorean can withstand 4K blasting. It may have trouble flying in its hover converted mode, but it can absolutely withstand a 4K resolution. In fact, most of the vehicles, I mean, no vehicle that Hot Toys ever made wouldn't have that type of issue. So I do respect your choice, Fig Fade. I know that you're loving, but again, I like to review everything on a scale. It's an $1,800 vehicle. I like to know how close I can get to it with a camera. What, from a distance? Make excuses like a lot of the reviews I've seen. Well, it's a pinstripe and a little bit off on this corner, but it's a mom and pop shop. So you know what? Right. That's the argument there, right? That's what I'm kind of pointing on. Going off of this, right? Because this is we're like in the Hunger Games right now. You get burned a couple times. Well, as a collector, I like to spend money on toys. I took the gamble. I took the chance. I speak from my experience. I can't really speak on anything else. I don't know what their Vulture is or the quality is. I have no clue what it is. Everybody says that the 66 Batmobile is fantastic. Okay. I can't argue that. I don't have the vehicle in hand. So I'll leave it at that. Again, the argument is the portrayal of that specific video. And Speak of the Devil thing will be there. Hello, Mafia. Hello, hello, hello. So, again, it's what was said, and people tend to forget. It's an old video, right? That video of the Falcon cockpit, that was done a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, which, again, putting things into context, at that point in time, Jazzing did go through different batches, different iterations of batches. But again, you only have to burn me a couple times, and I'm done. I like to spend money. You're not going to get any of my money, which then can segue to the current state of EXO-6. No. The last EXO-6 figure I got, I didn't even open it. It was
Q?
It was Q. God, you know it. You knew I hated that figure. God, I'm getting the hairs. I hated that figure. So I never even opened it up, and I hated it so much. I just wanted to throw it. Like I'm getting triggered just talking about that specific figure. I love John Delancey so much. I saw him in person. I have a photo and his signature and autograph. I love that. I love the actor so much. And just seeing the blogger photos and the reviews on it, it broke my heart, because I think that's what pulled the wool over my eye. It opened me up, because I'm like, you know what, Denobi, you're lying to yourself. The Doctor is trash. 7 of 9 has a wacky fucking giraffe neck. Chakotay's eyes look beady. Catherine Janeway's paint application was made by an eighth grade student and you know in a high school. It's just, no, this isn't working. No. Things are getting aggressive. We've entered the generation, the whole generation of waitlist. Things are getting real. Tough choices are unfortunately have to be made right now. And I can't do it. And I know people want me to keep talking about EXO-6. There's no love. There's nothing there for me anymore. The way the properties have been portrayed on Paramount Plus, look, I'm not going to disagree with anybody. I'm sure Picard season 3 was fantastic, but I'm done. I've moved on for now, right? Star Trek to me is on the same boat on the River Styx, right next to Star Wars. These two properties haven't had cinematic representation. What, 5 years, Sean? For 5 years, 6 years? Yeah. There's nothing. So as much as everybody loves to take a shit on Marvel, which fine, Marvel's been making some Disney Plus wacky nonsense. Marvel still has films in theaters that still make money.
But bring me the quality figures from the original series and the original, like in Star Trek Generation TV series, and the quality's there. I'll order.
Do you think EXO-6 should have just went with the whole Next Generation crew?
Yeah.
Well, hard, just flex it out.
Yeah, I think the strategy was wrong.
Yeah, I do too. But hey, you know, you live and learn, and you learn from your mistakes, and you know, I guess you just wished him the best of luck. I guess would be at this point, and then continue with the Hunger Games, because they're not the only game in town. Everybody wants your money. Hot Toys, Mondo, everybody, third-party nonsense. Jazz Inc. wants your money. Everybody wants your money, and I want to be taken out to dinner, Sean. I want to be wooed, and you're not getting those from those companies. You know what? Let's call it a night.
It's time to let old things die. Snoke, Skywalker, the Sith, the Jedi, the Rebels, let it all die. Ray, I want you to join me.